This is my final project for my EDU 333 class. I spent this past semester at the University of Maine at Farmington. Up until last semester, I was in the secondary education program with a concentration in science, but I decided to change my major and continue in the elementary education program, keeping a concentration in science. This is one of the best decisions I have made since entering UMF, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to start my career in the elementary ed program then jumping right in with practicum. My practicum was a group of 12 students who all attended the same 5 blocked classes all semester long, and I made some amazing friends that I hope to keep throughout my pre-service teacher journey at UMF, and I know they will all be great colleagues and soon to be teachers. To start out the semester, I was excited to be in EDU 333 when I found out it was K-3 literacy. It was very much the opposite of what I was used to, and I was excited to have a class focused on the younger grades of elementary school. I did not know what to expect, but I knew I was excited. Our semester was filled with lots of different work surrounding how to teach and integrate great things into the K-3 classroom when it comes to literacy. At the beginning of the semester, we started by working with children's literature. We looked at some of the different book awards that go along with children's literature, and I got the Pura Belpré Award, which focuses on children's writers and illustrators who best portray the Latino culture through their books. It was nice to see some of the different things the different book awards are there to recognize in the literature that I wasn't expecting. When it came to picture books, I thought every book was filled with a few words and would take less than 3 minutes to read no matter what. But boy, was I wrong. There is so much more to children's literature than I ever knew as a child. Picture books are a child's first look at the world around them and where they hear a lot of words for the first time, as well as learn different places, events, animals, people, letters, numbers, and more. Book choice is key when it comes to children's literature. There are a few different types of books. There are basal books, easy to read, to help kids feel success when reading, alphabet books, to bring on alphabet knowledge, pattern books, to use repetition and help kids to learn how to know what to expect, and then there are what we focused on, trade books, which are the good books. Book choice has a few different aspects to it for picking the good books. You have to focus on the children you are choosing for to make sure the topics are things they are interested in versus scaring them away from reading because they think reading will always be boring. Besides the genre, the reading difficulty is important to match with the children so they do not think reading is too difficult and get discouraged young. The quality of the books needs to be good too, including good illustrations, word choice, and topics. Also, you want to make sure you have a wide range of topics to go along with the wide range of experiences that children are going through, which brings me to our next assignment for EDU 333. We were supposed to come up with some suggestions of picture books to add to our UMF library collection, and I focused on books that were different and had different experiences and knowledge to bring to the children. The most significant book to me was a book called Why is Dad So Mad?, a book about PTSD and military families. This book is about a lion cub whose dad has PTSD, and I thought it was a great book to have out there that a child could read or have read to them if they have a family member or a close friend with PTSD, and it can make them feel less alone and give them advice on good ways of dealing with the hard things in their life. Some of the other book's topics include issues like divorce, stepfamilies, disability, diverse representation, bullying, and more, all to help children with real-life issues they may be struggling with. Finding and reading these types of books went along with our 100 book challenge, where we were to all read 100 children's books following the guidelines and including books from all types of genres, which included social studies, math, science, poetry, nonfiction, diverse representation, alternative fairy tales, and chapter books. Also involved with the 100 book challenge was that during the month of February, we went on every Monday and Friday morning, except those that were snow days, to read to the children at Mallet Elementary School. I was able to use my book choice to figure out and find books that my group of 4 students would like and enjoy hearing every morning, as well as be worthwhile for them to hear. This project was one of my favorite aspects of the class and the semester because I got to work with the younger students, which I really enjoyed. I even got to work with kindergartners, which was really fun. At the same time as our work with children's literature, we spent time reading from the book Proust and Squid about how the brain really works and the difficulties that go along with learning to read. I was interested to find out that our brains were not born to read, and it made me feel a lot better about my immense struggles learning to read when I was younger. After this work, we worked with the Big Six and all that is involved with children and learning to read. The Big Six includes oral communication, the process of expressing ideas through word and mouth; fluency, the ability to read a text quickly, accurately, and with expression; phonics, the study of the relationship between graphemes and phonemes, or syllables and sounds of language; phonemic awareness, the awareness and knowledge of phonemes, the smallest units of sound, and the ability to manipulate these phonemes; vocabulary, the content and meaning of words to help comprehension; and comprehension, understanding what you read and how it is interconnected. To be a good reader, you have to be able to use all of these different parts of the Big Six, and for EDU 333 and EDU 302, we worked on connecting the Big Six with integrating technology into the classroom and at home. In fact, myself and two partners worked on a presentation with the app Remind and its connections to the Big Six and ways it could be used to create that communication from the classroom to home. And we presented this information at Thomas College on March 28th for all of our first professional conference. We did a lot of work with phonics through phonics check-ins and relearning all of the different parts of words like syllables, syllable types, and the phonetic elements. We learned about the GRR, the gradual release of responsibility, and having lessons be I do, you watch, I do, you help, you do, I help, and then you do, I watch. We learned about the ZPD, the zone of proximal development, where the productive struggle happens for a student, and TSI, the transactional strategies instruction, and some of the different strategies that work for teaching literature and literacy to children. Also, with the two types of instruction, explicit instruction and embedded instruction. To finish out the semester, we worked with and learned about book art, and we all made our own books that could be used to help children following one of the Common Core teaching standards. I worked with rhyming words and was able to later use my book in a mini lesson I planned, working with the R-controlled letter A sound. Our last bit of work was for a presentation for Symposium, where myself and a partner worked with computational thinking and the writing process and visual coding. We were able to connect all three pretty well with our work with Scratch Junior, and the steps of the writing process and computational thinking just went right along together with our activity and the struggles that came along with working with a new technology or idea, which was the visual coding. Overall, this semester was a great success, and I am so proud of all the work I was able to complete to start my journey of being an elementary ed teacher. If you want to learn more about me and my education journey, check it out on my Twitter and my blog, which I'll link below. Thanks for listening.